Madison Beer does not speak boy shit, but does she speak skincare? That is the question that I would like to know. I have never reacted to this. I don't know why. I could have sworn that I did. Madison Beer, I actually know who she is. She is an extremely talented singer. She is a social media icon in her own right, and today we're going to dive into what she puts on her face. She might be a Madison Beer, but I am Cassandra Bankson, a medical esthetician who has been in the industry for the past 10 years, and I have seen a lot, specifically when working alongside doctors and dermatologists, but also in my work on social media, because let me tell you, Dr. Google does not actually have a medical degree, and a lot of the stuff that we see celebrities or magazines tout is not always true or in our best interest for our skin. So Madison Beer obviously has an iconic look of her own, but how does she get it? And is it thanks to the skincare, or is it just good genes? Let us analyze, scrutinize, and learn together to find out.
Hey guys, it's Madison Beer, and I am here today to show you my everyday skincare and makeup routine. The first thing that I do when I wake up is I immediately wash my face. I throw this on, and then this is my cleanser. I have struggled with my skin for the past 3 years, I would say. I never really had acne growing up in my teenage years. It kind of hit me when I was like 19 and 20, and I'm now almost 22, and my acne is just kind of starting to settle and go away. I used to have forehead acne all the time and really horrible cystic deep acne in my cheeks, and I was really insecure about it, and it just was like, I don't know, it could be like crippling obviously, and you don't want to put makeup on it because then it makes it feel and look worse, and it just was bad. So I'm really glad that I found something that works for me.
Wow, I did not expect to feel all of the feels within the first 57 seconds. Madison is a sister. Dude, oh my god, everything she speaks to me just kind of like creeps under my skin and resonates, because growing up having acne, it swallows your identity. And if it's all that people point out, or if it's all that you see when you look in the mirror, it's really hard to make a difference in the world when you can't even look past right here, you know? And especially if you feel judged or ridiculed by others, it's like, how are you supposed to make meaningful friendships, have connections, be a part of society when you feel like you are the scum of it? At least that was my own experience. I love that Vogue did not blur out her pimples. She has some gorgeous acne, and you know what? I love that she mentions that she is, you know, past the ages of 14 to 18 and still breaks out. I am 29 and I still break out. And the fact that she's open to talking about it, like, everyone has their own idea of beauty. I'm just gonna say, skincare headband, the music talent, the facial washing, I am liking what I see. And also this Panoxyl foaming face wash, yes, this works. Panoxyl is amazing. They have different percentages, but their creams are basically like cream cleansers, and they are with benzoyl peroxide. This is an ingredient that's actually been medically proven to help with acne because it has a bond in it that breaks a little peroxide bond, which introduces oxygen into the skin. Now, acne is caused by a bacteria that lives in our skin, and it's anaerobic, meaning it doesn't like oxygen. So if oxygen gets introduced into the little living area of the acne bacteria, it goes, and it dies. And that is what benzoyl peroxide does. Now, benzoyl peroxide can be very drying and very stripping. It can be way too much for some people, which is why it can be frustrating to formulate with, and it can be frustrating to use. But that is why I like Panoxyl as a formula. Their formula is a little bit more creamy. It's a little bit less drying than a lot of other ones. Now, Panoxyl is great. It's inexpensive. It's at the drugstore. A lot of doctors and derms I work with recommend it. I've recommended it to a lot of people who've struggled with acne, and it works very well. But if you want, there's also Dr. Zenobia. She's in Sephora, and she has a hormonal dermatology brand that is made for people who are older and have breakouts. And if you are someone who struggles with adult acne, the Dr. Zenobia line is great. Acne Free as well has a benzoyl peroxide spot treatment that I like even better because it doesn't dry out the entire face. And what if you're just dry, but you don't necessarily have a ton of breakouts, but you're pimple prone? You want a hydrating kind of cleanser that doesn't cause breakouts because you're breakout prone? Dr. Sam. Oh my god, her entire line is so good for people who are grown-ups who tend to break out. Dr. Sam has a cleanser that is phenomenational. I cannot recommend that one enough. And again, there's nothing super acne fighting about Dr. Sam's cleanser per se, but it's more like, hey, I have dry skin, I'm breakout prone, I want something creamy that doesn't break me out. That's when you go for the Dr. Sam. There are a lot of benzoyl peroxide options though. Just find something that works for your face. And Madison, it looks like this works for hers. And that just makes me, like, authenticity is such a rarity. This makes me so happy to see.
So the next step in my routine is a toner. I just got put onto this toner. My friend uses it, and it's the Laneige Cream Skin Toner and Moisturizer, and it feels so good. You don't even have to use cotton pads with it, which I had no idea you could do. I thought using toner, you had to use a cotton pad, but you just put this one on, and I'm not kidding when I tell you it feels like, I want to say milk, but I don't know if that's like an appealing thing that you want on your skin, and it feels so nice.
Interesting. I don't know this either. I also have started using toner in my hand instead of with little pads because I feel like the pads soak up so much of it. But let's find out what's in this one. The Cream Skin Toner and Moisturizer. Ooh, from Laneige or Liange. I don't know how to pronounce it. This has water, butylene glycol, glycerin. It does have some metafoam seed oil, 1,2-hexanediol, polyglycerol tenestearate. This is not bad, but there's nothing phenomenal in here. So for example, if you're looking for something moisturizing, I do love to see the glycerin that we've got, but I usually like to see things like ceramides. I like to see things like aloe. I like to see things like sodium hyaluronate that can actually bind water into the skin. The glycerin in here is good. It does look like we have some green tea extract and some tocopherol, but for $33, I don't love this. We do have some inulin, which is nice, but nothing in here impresses me. It does say that it's a 2-in-1 formula that preps and softens skin like a toner and moisturizes like a cream, but I would have to try it to make that claim. Looking at it for $33, I am not super impressed. One of my absolute favorite toners that I actually feel is like a liquid moisturizer is from Pure AM. They have a barrier toner, and it's a toner that has ceramides. Like, it's an actual essence. So good. If you want something else that is super hydrating and like really nice, Pyeongkang Yul. Very, very lovely, especially if you have anything from oily to dry skin. Pyeongkang Yul is amazing. The Jinjung Sung is something that I found recently. I get it from Credithink on Amazon, and that is phenomenal. That I feel like that's a better version of the SK2. Like, it's a thicker, jellier version. I've also used and loved these from Frudia in the past, but these are not for the faint of heart. If you don't do well with scents, then this probably isn't for you. They have an avocado and like an antioxidant pomegranate, which I like, but the Jinjung Sung is one that I have currently been loving, and I would recommend all of those over this Laneige one. But granted, I haven't put this one on my face, and I don't think I'm going to, because number one, I'm not impressed. Number two, it's not cruelty free. She mentions she's acne prone. I don't see anything in here that, would potentially be detrimental to acne, but if you do have acne, I would want something that does support the barrier a little bit more, especially after penoxyl. Just something that maybe, kind of brings the pH down a little bit more. Yeah, she likes it. I'm glad, but I'm gonna pass.
I feel like most people have one of these. I love it. I don't really know if it works or if it does anything, but I feel like it does. I think it kind of like depuffs my face. I get pretty swollen. I eat a lot of like sushi and chips and salty things, so I get pretty swollen when I wake up. I also currently have this little surprise that's my friend. I also have to sometimes remind myself whenever I have a pimple, I'm like, you couldn't even count the amount you had, so be grateful that it's just one now. So I feel like when I roll it, it might make it feel better. Maybe it's making it worse, but this does something to my brain that makes me think it feels better.
I love her. Okay, I love her. Does it actually make it better? A cold compress can help with acne because acne does have some inflammation, especially if it's a whitehead. Inflammation can also lead to hyperpigmentation, so you know what? This is actually Cassandra approved. I do feel like everyone has these little jade rollers. I think these are way overhyped. Some people spend hundreds of dollars on these. This one specifically that she's using is from Herbivore. The price of this one is $40, which is not the worst, but I feel like it's a little bit steep. These jade rollers, like, everyone's obsessed with them. I don't think they're all that. They can be relaxing, they can be really fun, but you could also put a cold spoon in the fridge. Companies sell these little rollers and they say this is like ancient Chinese technology, and this crystal jade healing will penetrate into you and like cause you to be like aging backwards. And they charge you like $100 for it. And first off, that's not how quartz works, okay? That's not how rocks work. That's not how thermodynamics work when it comes to the transfer of heat energy. That is not how these products work. Now, are they relaxing? Yes. Can they help with lymphatic drainage when used gently? Yes. Can they help with stimulation and with a little bit of depuffing of the skin like Madison alludes to? Yes, absolutely. And if you are someone who wakes up puffy, maybe you eat too much salt, or maybe you eat too little sodium because our body likes homeostasis. Maybe you sleep on your face. Maybe you cry every day like me. Regardless of the reason, if the face gets a little puffy, something like this can be awesome. But don't be tricked because you can just use your hands. You can use a cold cold spoon. But if you want to use a device because it makes you look and feel fancy, then go for it. Just don't spend $400 on it. And then also, you know, ripping off East Asian cultures and taking advantage of, you know, traditional medicines and then just exploiting them in a whitewashed way. That is a conversation we can have for another day with experts in that topic. But the way some of these things are taken from other cultures and just whipped into consumerism and then like sold at, you know, some big box retailers, I have thoughts about those. And it's like, okay, let's get back to the essence of what this is actually supposed to be and what it actually does for us beyond all of the marketing hype. But if she likes it, I mean, she looks like she's having a good time rolling, so I can roll with that.
Next step I do is my moisturizer. And I really like this moisturizer. It's like whipped and it comes out in this really cool, fancy schmancy way. It's interesting, you would think having acne would make you want to get into skincare, but it actually made me really scared of it because it would hurt and I would be terrified that it was gonna make it worse, because sometimes it would, and sometimes I would have a really bad reaction to something and then I would feel terrified to ever use anything again. So I kind of just stopped messing with it when I was going through that. And then I would say like quarantine, mentally I was kind of just going through a really tough time, as I'm sure a lot of people were. And so it was kind of my way of spending time with myself at the end of the day and just like, I'll thank my body and my heart for working so hard and overtime every single day. And I think skincare is a big part of that, because I'm just like thanking my skin and my body for protecting me, and just like it's cheesy, I know, but it definitely makes me feel better. And I think that everyone should do things like that because they really can help boost your mental health.
Skincare is self-care, is it not? I resonate with this so much. I remember being afraid of my skin. I was afraid of the things I didn't understand before I went to aesthetic school, first in 2009, which is crazy to think. I remember falling asleep in my makeup because it was blemish clearing, and I thought that like falling asleep in it would make my blemishes clear overnight and I would just wake up and apply more the next day. But I was so afraid to switch things up because if I got it wrong, I blamed myself. Like I was the one who was freaking out. You're a intellectual, you love nerding out about this kind of stuff. You love understanding the skin. You understand that acne is a normal part of biology. You're working to understand yourself and to help those around you. But there are some people who it's totally fine, but they don't want to get granular with the skin science. They don't want to get granular with anatomy or cosmetic chemistry. And they don't have to. There's something for everyone, right? But for those who don't want that and who don't want to do that digging, it can be so overwhelming because you have products everywhere. You have someone telling you a jade roller is going to fix your skin. You have a dermatologist with a prescription. You have 5 other people telling you to put dish soap or to put St. Ives on your face. And you don't know what to do. I've been there and I resonate with it. And I love that she's open about discussing it, because I feel like we need this kind of representation because people don't have these conversations publicly, and we especially don't see them often from celebrities. So this is really refreshing. Now, what is not refreshing? Oh, the moisturizer she whipped out. Oh my God, it's from Drunk Elephant. The elephants are not drunk. The founder is. We've already done a video about why Drunk Elephant is quite the brand, and it is a brand that I do not agree with for some of their morals and philosophies. Do they have some great skincare products? Yes, but the brand founder thinks that all skin conditions are because of the same reason, and it's because that you don't use her skincare products, and if you use one of her products without the other 8, then it's like bad and she'll attack people on Instagram. I don't know if that was a one-time thing, like we all have our bad days, but Drunk Elephant is not a brand that I like, and I'm actually going to leave a link right there. Click it, open it in a new tab, save it to a watch later playlist, email this to yourself because you won't want to miss it. But for that reason, among many others, I do not recommend the La La Retro Whipped Moisturizer. No. And there's not much in here that would be really helpful for someone who's breaking out either. Obviously, it sounds like Madison is doing something that works for her, but when it comes to acne, it's not just about a cleanser, right? It's about, okay, what ingredients are in my routine, what works with my skin, and what's actually going to stay on the skin to support it. And if you can use a leave-on treatment that has an active ingredient like salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide, sulfur, or retinoic acid, or a retinoid, those are what are medically proven to help with acne. And if you're struggling, those are going to be the best things that you can go for. And if you use them in a wash form, that's great. But if you use them in a leave-on, they can actually work for you throughout the day. And so those are the things that I would look for. That is what I would recommend. This product, again, formulation is not horrible. It's just the brand that is horrible. But this has glycerin, caprylic triglyceride. We've got some ceramides, we've got some cholesterol. The formula is not bad. I just will not support this brand. We have done a video on Drunk Elephant dupes, so those are ones that I would recommend. And yes, we have an entire video on those too. If you're actually struggling with acne, I have left a list of my favorite acne products, so products that would actually work for Madison beer, that actually have acne fighting ingredients in them. It's like the 4th or 5th link down. I'll put an emoji next to it. What emoji should we put? I'll put a chicken emoji next to it so that you can see it, because we love our little mother cluckers. Did you know that I have 6 little mother cluckers? I love them. And also, if you made it to this point of the video, comment, I love putting vegan chicken nuggets on my face just to confuse the crud muffins out of everybody else. Like if you got it to this point, this is an inside secret, okay? Okay, we shall continue.
I'm gonna move on. This is my favorite facial spray in the entire world. I'm not even gonna try to butcher the name because I'm gonna fail miserably.
She looks amazing as she applies it, and it looks like she likes it, but holy guacamole, no. No. This is like $60 fragrance. So this is from Caudalie, and Caudalie does have some very good products, but Caudalie also charges a lot of money for things that I don't agree with. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not $60, it's $50. Still way overpriced. This is water, straight up alcohol. So alcohol can help other ingredients penetrate deeper. It can help to stabilize and preserve a product, but in this case, it is like the second ingredient. It is just drying the shit out of faces. We have bitter orange flower water and fragrance, rosemary. Like this is straight up just a fragrance bomb. And if you use it because you like fragrance and because it makes you feel fancy to spray and it makes you feel sexy and empowered, like go for it. But oh my God, this is not something that is conducive to skin health, in my personal opinion and professional opinion. And again, I don't hate things like limonene, linalool, citronella, geraniol, which these have, but they are fragrancy ingredients and terpenes that for the sensitive, no. And even for general skin, I do not love. I love that she loves this, but I absolutely do not. If you need to spend money on a Caudalie product, do it on that viral TikTok mask, because this is not it. And I actually have a dupe for that viral Caudalie TikTok mask from 3 Ships that I think is much better. But calm your Cassandra. Madison beer enjoys it, and that's totally fine. Just know that if you're struggling with acne, 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
The last step of my skincare routine before we go into the makeup, which I'm excited about, is this La Mer Eye Concentrate Eye Cream, and this makes me feel so fancy whenever I use it because it has this little thingy.
If there are 2 things that I think are the biggest scams of the entire industry, it is La Mer and eye creams. Do you know the story behind La Mer? We have exposed the story behind La Mer. La Mer was created by an astrophysicist that didn't understand skincare. He burned his own hand in a lab, and then 6 years later, he's like, this seaweed magically saved it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, don't burns heal before 6 years time span, but whatever. He loved it so much, he fed it to people and he rubbed it in their eyes at fancy bougie Hollywood Beverly Hills dinner parties. When he died, Estee Lauder purchased it, and they used like a psychic medical medium to summon him from the dead to get him to communicate from the dead to share their magical formula. And it involves giving skincare products an LED light show and playing like meditation music to them. You need to see that video. Again, I will link it right here and right here. Email it to yourself, add it to your watch later playlist because you are not gonna wanna miss it. That video explains why they charge $400 for a little tiny urine-sized sample cup of eye cream, and why I think it is absolute trash. If there is ever a time or a person to use La Mer eye cream, it would be because it makes someone feel bougie. And if you listen to what Madison just said, she didn't say, oh, this erases my eye wrinkles, or like this, obliterates my eye bags, or it magically makes my pimples disappear and I eat it with a spoon for breakfast. She said, it makes me feel fancy as f. Okay, fine. Go for it. That is the one and only time that you should use this, is that if you know it's a waste of money and you want to spend it anyways, go for it. But otherwise, for the rest of us who have skincare issues, we have under eye concerns, we want products that are actually going to work for us. La Mer, in my personal subjective opinion, and actually objective when you look at the ingredients list, it's Nivea plus seaweed. Stop. I'm so glad it works for her. I'm so glad she likes it. Especially for acne prone skin types, I do not recommend.
It really preps my skin for my makeup, and I like when my skin feels really clean and ready to go. and I feel like my makeup sits on my face a lot better. Sad moment, I take off my cute little headband, which I miss the moment it comes off my head. First step of my makeup routine, which this is a very, very new thing I've initiated with my makeup. I've not always done this, and I'm obsessed with it.
Is she not gonna use a sunscreen? Hold up.
I just have really out of control eyebrows. So I started waxing them, and I immediately made them way too thin for my own good, and then I started letting them grow out because any makeup artist I would work with.
Madison Beer uses her own Morphe X Madison product, but she does not use a sunscreen. Madison! First off, sister, love that. If there's ever a time to use a La Mer eye cream, I actually think that this would be the time. I'm shocked these words are even coming out of my mouth. But a lot of these products I wouldn't recommend. Like, we started off great, and then the philosophy is great, the authenticity is great, but the products, look at that, the products are getting gradually worse as we go along. Like, we're just going down a slippery slope here. And the fact that we ended with no sunscreen, oh my God. A lot of people don't realize how important sunscreen is for acne. Yes, sunscreen is literally an anti-cancer skincare product, okay? It prevents from skin cancer. But many people don't realize sunscreen can stop hyperpigmentation from setting in, which you can get after a blemish. And again, I'm not here to judge Madison's skin. I'm just looking at kind of what I see. And it looks like her acne might have a little bit of hyperpigmentation there. And it's up to her if she wants to treat that or not. But using sunscreen would help to prevent that from happening in the first place. And there are some acne-safe sunscreens. I can link you a video right here of some of my favorite sunscreens that are great for acne and oily prone skin. But this routine started off great. I know how it feels to be afraid to switch things up, but could we create Madison Beer like an acne skincare routine, like a luxury acne skincare routine? Could we do that? Because I feel like there aren't any luxury skincare routines. Looking at her physical demeanor, looking at her bathroom, looking at the products she says she enjoys using, like La Mer and Caudalie, I have a feeling that she likes to live life a little on the bougie side. And if you want to spend money on acne products, what's a girl supposed to do? Let me know if we need a follow-up video on that, because this routine just kept getting worse, and it is never a person's fault that they are breaking out. There are so many things, from the environment to genetics to food to sleep to products, that can trigger breakouts. So I'm not saying that it's these products that are doing that to her, but would I recommend these products for someone who is breaking out? No, I would not. Would I even recommend these for an ethical luxury routine? No, I would not. Well, here we are. I am going to leave a pinned comment that asks you which of the follow-up videos you want first, because there are some videos that I feel like we need to do as a follow-up to this. Madison is undeniably beautiful and talented and skintellectual and authentic and honest, but do I like this routine? No, I do not. So I am going to try to help my fellow sisters, my fellow brothers and blisters, and my fellow skintellectuals by linking some products that I actually recommend and the science behind why. Please check the comments and find them there, and please leave a comment with vegan chicken nuggets if you have made it to this point in the video. It's our little inside secret, and it's going to confuse the heck out of everyone else, so join me. Also remember to stay hydrated, reapply your SPF, please Madison, please, and always be beautiful both inside and out. I love you, beautiful butterflies, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.